to make it work.
Final question I should mention before I mention the book again. In closing, fears of a setting sun. Where does that come from?
So it comes from a line on the last day of the Constitutional Convention as the delegates are lining up to sign the charter. The story goes that Benjamin Franklin calls attention to the chair that George Washington, as president of the convention, he had occupied this high-back mahogany chair at the front of the room all summer that has a decorative half sunburst carved into the crest. And Franklin calls attention to this chair, the sun on this chair, and he says, look, painters often have a hard time differentiating in their compositions a rising sun from a setting sun. And I've often wondered over the course of the summer, over the course of the deliberations of the Philadelphia Convention, whether the sun was rising or setting. But now at last I have the happiness to know that it is a rising and not a setting sun.
Though even Franklin famously asked what kind of government they came up with, said a republic, if you can keep it.
That's right.
Dennis C. Rasmussen has written many books of history, one about Governor Morris, which an important figure that too few Americans know, which we'll probably talk about in a future July 4th special. This book is Fears of a Setting Sun, the disillusionment of America's founders. Dennis, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Gil. I appreciate you having me.
This has been the Independence Day Special from CBS News Radio, produced by District Productive and Paul Woody Woodhull. I'm Gil Gross.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Hi, I'm Nate Connors. King County Assessor John Arthur Wilson waived his right to appear in court Thursday afternoon. That following his arrest Wednesday night for investigation of stalking his estranged fiancée in violating a temporary restraining order. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch was in court and has this report.
71-year-old Wilson was represented by his attorney, John Polito, who entered a not guilty plea. Prosecutors asked for $100,000 bail, but before the judge made a decision, she heard from the alleged victim, Lee Keller.
I'm here to tell you that I'm very concerned about my safety. I currently have an active restraining order in place, and John Wilson continues to violate it.
Polito told the court Wilson is not a threat nor a flight risk. The judge set bail at $50,000 and issued a domestic violence no contact order. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Cal Raleigh has done it. He stands alone, the most first-half home runs for a catcher in baseball history.
Seattle's Cal Raleigh is having a monster season, and now he's an all-star starter. Major League Baseball says he'll catch for the American League in Atlanta. Raleigh crushed the fan vote, beating Toronto's Alejandro Kirk. He's also in the home run derby. Raleigh leads the majors with 33 home runs and 71 RBIs. And he's the first Mariners catcher to make the All-Star game since Dan Wilson in 1996. The game airs Tuesday, July 15th at 5 p.m. on Fox. Your KIRO News Radio forecast drops to 54 overnight in Seattle. No rain in sight through the holiday weekend. Sunny and 75 on the 4th of July. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
From the Carter Subaru Studios, this is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the 11 o'clock hour of the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Absolutely. I've been enjoying the last couple of segments really have brought out a lot of people trying to figure out how they can label us. And I think what it boils down to is you can't fit everybody into a convenient box. You really can't. And I think it's good to have nuance.
Sure. Someone said, Gee and Ursula, you guys are always poking fun at conservative values. To which I ask, which conservative value do we poke at? And I did that on purpose because I knew that whatever the value that they think that I poke at, it would be impossible for them to write that down and type that. And they couldn't. You still can't. You still can't really say that I make fun or poke at conservative values because I don't look at this. I've never had a gang mentality. I think that you can agree and have a opinion about this and have a different opinion about that. It doesn't always fall in line on, one side or the other. And my goal in doing this show is to try to show us on a continual basis that the agree to disagree segment, which is coming up next, is a real thing, right? Like, it's not this whole divide and everything that's constantly like that. It's only done for money reasons. It's only done for votes and things. Truthfully, most of us can get along together in a community. It's not really a vision thing. It's only the politics that does that.
So with that, we're going to do agree to disagree.
Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
If you're headed out to the lake this summer and plan to stop at the store and grab one of those foam coolers on the way, good luck. As of June 1st, all styrofoam cups, plates, clamshell takeout containers, and single-use foam coolers will be banned in Washington. So a law to ban styrofoam was passed in 2021, but was not scheduled to go into effect until now. Gee, are you happy about this news? Are you sad about this news? How you feeling, man?
I didn't care. When you said that, I did not care about the foam coolers, whatever, because it didn't impact me. And Ursula, once I'm proving your point to where we only care about things that impact us.
You can't pick and choose,
You can't pick and choose. And so, Ursula, when we talked about it, I didn't care until I got a text message from my friend. And they said, oh, not only the foam cooler, this also will eliminate the cup o' noodle. Cup o' noodle. I don't know about y'all, but the cup o' noodle has been with me in some real hard times. You know, the foam cup with the noodles, you just put some water in there and you put it in the microwave.
So now you care.
Now I care.
You actually don't put those in the microwave.
Oh, no.
Or G's been putting
hold on,
You're not supposed to microwave the styrofoam containers.
That's news to G.
Okay.
Wait. So what did you? So what do you do with it?
No, you put boiling water in them, and you leave it for 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, like, you're probably safe putting it in there for 30 seconds, but
oops. Go ahead, Ursula.
So the more you learn, the more you know, the better you do, right? So those are not good for the environment. There are so many other options. There are those little plastic, not plastic, but reusable lunch pails that you can use.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, where you can
the
put
bento
your
box
ice
things.
packs in, And yeah, you don't need those little flimsy styrofoam things that are good for one or two uses, or you have a stack of them in your garage that you never use. They're just
I got in trouble by my recycle people probably like 2 months ago. My Amazon package had some styrofoam in it. I didn't really.
And they dug through your recycling.
It was weird. They just put a note on my recycling can and says,
"You could do better."
Yeah,
right. So
okay. So normally I would be 100% for this because styrofoam is awful. We are particularly blessed here in the Pacific Northwest to live around Puget Sound, which is this protected body of water which keeps us away from all of the stuff that floats around in the ocean currents. And if you've ever been down to like South America, a beach in South America, and you see like literally piles of plastic and styrofoam everywhere and it washes in every day, it is disgusting. That being said, I actually had a styrofoam cup last summer when I stopped in Yakima and got some cantaloupe juice from a Mexican restaurant. And that thing kept my drink cold not only throughout the evening, but I stuck it in the fridge, and the ice in there was still frozen the next morning. It was like one of those Stanley tumblers with the lead, but I guess the lead's probably not really going to hurt you because it's not in the... Anyways, it is superior insulation. So if you're getting takeout Chinese food, right, and it comes in the styrofoam clamshell, it's going to be cold when you get home. And I actually enjoy the foam coolers a little bit because sometimes you don't plan on needing a cooler, but you got to get one, and that's what they sell. And I don't want to spend $20, but gee, I got something for you here. I'm going to have to throw this to you about your cup of noodles. Check this out.
Oh, my goodness.
Right downstairs, I noticed this happened about 3 weeks ago. If you look at the cup of noodles, it comes in a paper container now. If you look at the top, it says
I don't want it.
microwave safe.
I don't want it.
You don't want it because you enjoy the aesthetic feel of your fingers squeaking on the styrofoam?
I think it feels so much better.
No, it's different. It's the same with the attack on straws. This is only happening because you got Democrats in office. And this wouldn't happen. And by the way, my friend Sherry just texted me, and some of you all just text me, even with the phone, it was safe to put in the microwave for at least about 30-something, under a minute.
Yes,
I'm
under
good.
a minute.
Under a
Beyond
minute.
that, you got something that's crumbling.
But by the way, I don't want these cup of noodles.
All right, buddy, let's move on.
Okay.
Oh, Ursula, according to the Wall Street Journal, us Americans no longer keep our change. In fact, the metal kind that clinks around in our pocket, we throw away $68 million worth of change in the U.S. every single year. There are companies now that go through and they sort metal recycling, and they will actually sift out all of the coins to collect the cash. Are you still keeping your change, Ursula? Because my pennies go right in the garbage can.
You throw your change?
What am I supposed to do with them?
You've got children. You can give them and show them how a few pennies and a few quarters and a few dimes actually amount to certain amounts, that money that you can spend.
Matthew doesn't know how change works. I think he knows 4 quarters is $1, but you can't buy anything with pennies.
You know what I do?
Is he going to dump a pile of pennies on the counter at Rite Aid?
No. I'm willing to pay, what's that company?
Coinstar?
Coinstar. Yes. I'm willing to pay Coinstar. What?
Oh, never mind.
Gambling.
I said it was a scam.
Oh,
they
no.
They charge you usury. It's like 10%.
Yeah, but guess what? That's time that I don't have to use up
rolling
coins or dumping them in
Nobody
the bank.
does that anymore.
But the other day, I emptied out my piggy bank, and I actually have a piggy bank shaped like a pig.
It's literally a pig.
It is a pig. And I opened it up, put all the coins in a bag. Okay, call me Boomer. I see your look on your face. I took it to the QFC, dumped it in, and it was over $50. You guys are the ones who are the suckers. You guys are thinking that it's not money. You throw it in the trash. How foolish are you?
I literally throw away pennies now.
Okay. Real quick.
On the opposite
Do you want me
end
to
of the
keep my
spectrum,
pennies and give them to you?
I actually bend over and pick up a penny if I actually see one on the ground.
Why? Why would you bother doing that?
Because, again, pennies accumulate and become actual money. Talk to me when I'm ready to retire in a few years.
Oh, please.
Ursula, what do you...
Look, 206 says you throw money in the garbage. Unbelievable.
What do you think I want to say?
A lot of us do.
Bless your heart. I know you've got that look of bless your heart. I'm standing with.
Okay, watch this. Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
When's the last time you used change to pay for something?
It's been maybe a decade or two. I feel like I saved the coins for I don't know what reason.
So here's my point. Can we just, currency department, U.S. Treasury, can we get rid of coins? It's useless. Chef's point right now is how much money is wasted. Like when you break $1 or you break a 10 and then you have the change, a lot of times you just put the change in a little cup for someone else, or you can't get something because you're 3 cents shy because you had some change or something like that. Can we just stop with the change? And I love you to death. And I'm not going to say, okay, Boomer. I'm not going to even say bless your heart because you have a landline. But Ursula,
just give me your change.
I'm getting cooked right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you right now, there are people who are siding with me. Yes.
And Chef, you're getting cooked?
Yeah.
Seriously, tell me what you keep your pennies for. I keep the silver stuff, but if I got like a couple dirty pennies sitting in my car and like the change it, boom, right in the garbage.
You know what? I should have known.
I'm telling you right now.
I should have known.
I'm telling you right now, after a while, it accumulates. And you bring it to the store, and you have money that you actually can buy something. I'm going to tell you right now.
This is a trap. You know what? Ursula laid the trap for us. She knew this morning that who our audience was. and she knew that we would go into this
ageism
topic.
again.
And
Look at this thing. It is
Yes, our text line is exploding with people saying, yes.
Never seen this before.
I've never seen. Wait a minute. I know you guys disagree with me all the time. I've never seen you guys agree. I mean, you guys are so on Ursula's side right now.
Just the idea that you throw away your change.
No, okay, that's
throw away pennies.
No.
Yes.
He made a mistake there.
I did not make a mistake.
Okay,
I'll say it again. I threw
no,
away pennies.
No, let's make a concession. I'm with Ernie on this. You messed up there. I didn't. No, I'm not throwing away any change.
Where does it go?
Yeah.
Where do your pennies go, G?
I'll give it to, you know what I'm saying? I'll give it to with whatever I use it, but give it to the change folks right there.
See,
little cup
here's
right
the
there.
deal. Like, I
I'm
use
not
cash.
throwing away.
I use cash maybe 3 times a month. So the amount of times that I get change is maybe 3 times a month. We're talking about like less than $1 in.
No,
I know. And you know what? If I just save my pennies, I'd be able to buy my own house anytime soon.
No.
And if I stop buying
people
avocado
are connecting
toast.
me with Chef. Ernie says, I can't believe Chef and G right now throwing away money. No. That's Chef by himself. I am not throwing away money. Are you kidding me? I'm not doing that. So I want to be crystal clear.
I'm going to say, of all the topics that we've brought up in the past month,
oh my gosh,
this one is overwhelmingly.
We just struck a nerve right here. Like everybody, it's almost like we just of all.
And I'm telling you right now, one of the happiest days was when I emptied all those coins, and it was I lugged it to the QFC, dumped in it. There was something very satisfying.
I will admit, dumping the jar of coins in Coinstar is pretty satisfying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now nobody smokes hardly anymore.
Yeah.
Hardly. That's what the ashtray is for. The ashtray is for your coins.
And I'll tell you
it
what,
should be coin tray.
I have I do have a pile of coins in my car. I don't make it visible, but again, have them available when you have to come up with that change.
And by the way, I'm not going to even allow you to disrespect Coinstar because the Coinstar inside of the QFC in Westwood Village in West Seattle, that Coinstar, I used to walk up to it, and it used to talk to me. Welcome back, G. you fell on some hard times, didn't you?
It's the 29th, isn't it?
And when I would get that little ticket that would come out and you see it, I'm like, yee. And I go over and get it cashed. Okay.
Can I just point out
Can I tell you one other thing that I've started? Sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
But it's also giving me great satisfaction. And I told a few folks about this, and some of you have reached out and asked me what it is.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Great Savings Challenge, the 100-day saving challenge.
Oh, you still been doing that?
Yes. Last night I was counting and I was putting away bills. And again, I like carrying some cash.
Yep.
And I just squirrel away some of those bills. And I was just flipping through the book, looking at the bills that I was able to put away that I don't miss. But in the end, I'm going to have $5,500.
What day are you on?
I kind of bounce around depending on what amount of cash I have. But I have the very last day already filled and the first 25 days filled.
Can I point how just crazy some of I don't understand why people are so mad at me. Here's the deal.
No, because you said you messed up when you
said I throw away money.
Yeah, you
You
messed
throw
up.
away money all the time, dude. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't.
Look.
Oh, here it comes.
No, I don't.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Check this out. Okay, if I decide to buy the non-premium brand of ice cream when I go to the grocery store tomorrow instead of Haagen-Dazs, you know what? I will have saved more money than I could have saved in 3 years saving my pennies.
Why is it either
3 years.
No.
It's completely worthless. I'm going to the grave on this. I'm sorry.
No, but Chef, here's where I'm mad because I'm guilty by association. They just think
guilty by association.
They just think, man, it's one of the it was a chef and his black friend came over and said he throws away money too. And I'm gonna tell you something. My ancestors won't allow that. We don't throw away money, player. No matter how much money we have, we don't throw away a penny. I was with you. I agree with you. But I gotta disassociate myself with you, Ursula. Can I get a lifeline? Can I come on your side?
Heck no, man. You know what? I eat expired food, and I've saved more money than you have in pennies in the last decade.
Here's the justification.
Just drop
the
pennies on the
justification.
street.
It's called logic.
Don't even throw them away. Just drop them on the street.
Nick, are you on his side?
No, you're better off just accidentally, quote unquote, just dropping them. Don't throw them away. That's more of an effort.
Cheryl says, Boomertown here. I have a cookie tin.
Hey, whatever works, Cheryl.
Oh, by the way.
Whatever works.
Those cookie tins, the old cookie,
Yes,
the
I
blue
love
ones
them.
that
Yes.
Grandma used to have.
Yes.
When the cookies are gone, that's what your change go in.
There's like 200 text messages here.
Again, there's something so satisfying hauling all of that change into the store and coming back with that bill.
Yeah.
A big one.
Okay. So 11:30 TBD, it says.
We're going to talk about Amazon.
Oh.
Have we seen the peak of Amazon? And what is happening where HQ was supposed to bring in even more employees and it's having the opposite effect?
All right. We will let Chef stew for a minute because he just got cooked.
Yeah, whatever. Penny wise, pound foolish, y'all.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why would I do that? They said, you're more than just a rapper. You're a car collector. You're a businessman. You're an inventor. Just like AAA is more than just towing. They have awesome travel advisors and insurance agents. And they got 3 A's in their name. Maybe I should change my name. Give me 3 A's. Mix, A, mix, A. When I say mix, give me 3 A's. Mix, A.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces like the other kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves. That can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
When the heat's an 11, cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Some AC you'll be loving when your house is an oven.
Dayandnight.net.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Call now to get 10% off an air conditioner or heat pump. Plus, no payments or interest for a year OAC.
Dayandnight.net.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning and happy Independence Day. I'm Tom Brock. Fire crews battled a 2-alarm house fire last night in Normandy Park. It broke out at a house on Normandy Terrace Southwest near Riviera Place. The home was either under construction or being renovated. Pictures posted by King County Fire District 2 shows piles of lumber, brand new windows, and construction material. The flames spread into the roof, which had rigid foam insulation. It took firefighters about 90 minutes to get the fire under control. 5 people in Missouri are injured after a vehicle crashed into a parking lot fireworks stand 30 miles south of St. Louis. Corporal Dallas Thompson with the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
For some reason, the driver lost control of the vehicle while in reverse. He sideswiped another vehicle that was parked unattended. He continued to drive backwards into the fireworks stand.
State troopers said a 6-year-old boy and his parents were among those hit while shopping for fireworks. Police in Los Angeles are bracing for a 4th of July that is expected to include more large protests against the Trump administration. KNX's Craig Figner reports.
Here in Los Angeles, No Kings 2.0 expected to bring thousands of people to downtown Los Angeles. LA Mayor Karen Bass says she has no plans to call for a curfew, but she's urging peace.
But it is 150% inappropriate for people to resort to any level of violence.
Your KIRO Newsradio forecast, partly cloudy and 75 degrees on your 4th of July. During tonight's fireworks shows, partly to mostly cloudy, overnight lows around 54 degrees. I'm Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
So what's the scenario? It is the Gee and Ursula Show, and this is scenarios. But this is probably one of, I'd say this is a different scenario. So you guys know I like to take you guys behind the scenes, so I don't want to leave anything out. I want to give it in real time, okay? So here's what happened.
Gee is scrolling on his phone because it started off with a text message.
Okay, here it started off with a text message. And Ursula goes to tell us, like, hey, we've arrived. It was one of our reels on social media has a bunch of plays. So lately, as you guys know, we've been putting not me, but Chef and those guys have been putting reels out there on social media. It's been pretty cool. And so Ursula says we arrived. When she sent the screenshot, I saw, and me being I'm a weirdo. I pay attention to details. Her phone is not charged. And so I see it's getting dead. So I took a screenshot of that and I sent it back to you. And then she says, LOL. And then her next words are, Spike used, as in Spike O'Neal, he's sitting here right now, by the way. We're not talking about his back. Spike used my charging cord at work. And then he lost it. And I said, OMG. And then Ursula says, haven't been home yet. I said,
here I am trying to justify why it is that
don't soften it up, Ursula.
My
You're
battery.
Trying to soften it up.
I am trying to soften it up.
I'm following along.
My battery.
I'm seeing the train's headlight coming down the track.
Exactly.
No, Ursula, no, Ursula, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Ursula's twirling her mustache dastardly as I'm tied to the tracks.
So Ursula says, I haven't been home yet. And to which I say, wait, he bought you another one, right? She says, no. And then she says, I need to go to the Apple store because my phone no longer works with these cheap ones. I said, So let me get this straight. He lost your charger. How long ago was this?
Gotta be 3 weeks ago, probably now.
3 weeks ago.
At least.
So Spike, you're here now. So you borrowed the charger.
I did.
You lost the charger.
I did.
And you just said, hey, Ursula, I borrowed it. I lost it. Done. And you were done with it.
Yeah. I'm like, go pound sand, I think were my exact words. Good luck out there in the world of cheap chargers that you'll be having to fall to without a good pocket charger that I stole from you. No, here, let me tell you what happened. I did. I found myself in the middle of our show trying to read text and communicate with show members because we do a lot of texting on air to each other. That's kind of a nice way to communicate.
He's kind of softening
right?
now.
And no, I borrowed Ursula's charger and I forgot to put it back in your computer. You were gone that day, I think.
Was.
I came back the next day and it was gone from my computer. And I told you, I didn't just steal it and die off, leave it a mystery.
What did I say?
Ursula, you're softening the blow. Let him finish.
What did I tell you?
You said You said, wait, what did you say?
What did you say?
I said, I give him credit.
He told you.
For telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then I completely forgot that this had happened. I swear, I don't mean to play the old man card, but if you added all your ages up together, I might be a couple years older than you.
Okay, I got questions.
Okay.
I got questions.
Go ahead. What's your question?
When you borrowed the charger, and then you came to find out the charger's gone.
Right.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did you feel going to Ursula saying, hey, I borrowed your charger, but I can't find it because somebody took it from me? How bad did you feel?
I felt terrible. And I also said at that moment, I'll get you a new one. I'll replace it. Remember I said that to you? Did I say that to you, or is that my memory is that bad that I thought I said that to you? I said, I'll find it, I said.
Yes, I think you were going to.
I said,
and
I'll
you
find
even
it.
looked in the studio.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, though, right now, I didn't make a big deal of it.
You didn't drive the bus.
I did.
No, as you should.
Guys, I'm sorry. I can't let this go on any further.
Okay.
Because there was a day when I needed a phone charger.
Shut up.
And I saw a phone charger in Spike's computer. And so right here in my pocket, Ursula, I believe I have your phone charger.
That's it. That's the one. That is it.
This is the one. So you guys wanted to roast Spike. But if you're ever looking for something, ask your producer. It's like asking your wife, where are my socks?
Therein lies the lesson.
I am the culprit. You should have suspected me.
No, hold on a minute. Before I appreciate your honesty.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold up. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. G's about almost out the door.
I know.
No, you know who I'm most upset with? You.
Because that's fair.
Yesterday,
that's totally fair.
As G is going on, and I'm telling you, telling you, I don't want to make a big deal of it.
This started yesterday? This could be going on for a whole day?
I told you one of the reasons I don't want to make a big deal of it is because it's not that big of a deal to me. And Spike had the decency to tell me, and I just assumed, you know what, he forgot about it.
And I did not. Well, here's my only defense is that I never believe in throwing someone else under the bus. And so I figured if I was going to take full accounting for it, I would do it live on air. Okay? I would take the fall. Spike could be redeemed. And everyone can think worse of me. But Ursula, I gotta say though, this thing is busted. The reason I didn't think about
it's a janky.
Look at this thing. It is like bare wires. So it did not even charge my phone. I was like, this is a piece of crap, and I forgot about it.
Which is the other reason I didn't want to make a big deal.
And
then there's one more reason I would.
Go ahead.
And Spike, I love you.
Okay.
And
but
no. But I want to share that there was a time when I borrowed Chris Sullivan's charging cord.
This is Sully's cord?
No, that isn't actually. And one time I forgot to return his.
Hold on. Okay.
And I had to apologize profusely. That said, I returned his.
Okay.
So,
Gee, where you at today? Where you at right now, bud?
You ready for this?
Yes.
Write this down, everybody. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Amen. I couldn't put it better. So let me say this before we move any further. I completely owned forgetting completely that I owed you a charger. I just forgot.
This was not your fault. I'm sorry.
No. Nobody. The fact that it was gone meant that I owed you a charger. And I said, I'll find it for you. And then I just completely brain farted this thing, and it's gone out of my head. This is the first I've thought about that charger in the last 3 weeks.
I just want to say this, and I know we're late. I'm sorry. We're getting out of here. Nick, if I took a charger off someone's desk and I lost it, I would be horrified. I would not be able to sleep, literally.
Watch your back when you're lending anything to Spike. He's just going to use it all up. Until you use me up. You might not see it again.
No. All right, it's not Spike we're worried about. It's Chef.
I'm going to the restroom.
I didn't lose it.
I'm worried about all of us right now.
Agree to disagree comes up next. Gee Ursula.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Sit me right down and he'd talk to me.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO Newsradio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit MakeTheConnection.net.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event this Saturday, July 5th through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free, no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing, plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you have aging parents, you've probably worried about their bathroom. That old tub? It's a slip and a disaster waiting to happen. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. With Bathfitter, you can convert it into a walk-in shower, custom fit, installed in just one day, and backed by a lifetime warranty. No mess, no demo, just a safer, better bathroom. Call Bathfitter today or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule your free consultation. And right now, take advantage of 0% interest for 24 months. This is the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Considering this topic coming up, gee, over in Idaho, they have passed a new indecent exposure bill. It would make public breast exposure as well as those testes that hang from trucks. It would make that illegal, a misdemeanor for the first offense. A second offense with it.
Hold up. What did you say?
Truck testes.
What's that?
What is that? The dice?
Are you genuinely confused, Ursula?
No. What are truck testes?
You've never seen the dangly Rocky Mountain oysters that hang down from the back of a lifted truck?
No.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Really?
Yeah,
they really are.
You've never seen this?
I just Googled it.
Ursula, why you always be researching? You scared to do this? You scared
because
to do
I
this?
Don't necessarily trust Chef to come up with something because he called
truck testes.
Well, they're called truck nuts.
I know. I was trying to be, more polite.
That's
what they're actually called.
Oh, yes. I mean, they got a bedazzled set and pair.
Illegal in Idaho.
You can buy some for $34.99.
Should it be illegal? Is that indecent?
I was today years old when I found out that these exist.
How have you been on this planet for nearly 60 years and never seen those?
Should they be illegal? The answer is no. Ladies, if the man that you're getting ready to currently date, if you swipe right and you see that man's truck and you see that he has truck nuts on it, I'm going to tell you right now, that will shape the relationship that you're going to be in. If you have that on your back of your truck, you are an insecure man. Sweeping statement. Any man that has truck nuts on the back of his truck is a very insecure man. And you know what? I'm going to stop right there.
Oh, Okay, I hate sweeping statements, and I hate the one that you just made. But now I have found out, I was also today years old when I found out there is a female equivalent to these things.
So you agree with my sweeping statement?
Wait, there's a female.
I don't want to assume that yes,
there's somebody with truck nuts on the back of their truck. You don't assume they're insecure? No, they're very, very insecure.
You know what those people would tell you, G? I'm glad I triggered you, brother. Clearly you can't handle it.
Hey, by the way, it's free speech, brother.
There is free speech.
Yeah.
So why of all the things for Idaho to worry about, they're calling it an indecent exposure bill.
Yes.
And they're making it illegal along with public breast exposure. Now I got to look into it. Does this mean this is because of people breastfeeding?
I think it might have something to do with potentially trans people or breast. I don't really know. They march to a different beat over there. I mean, in Washington, though, you see those swinging on somebody's truck. You happy with that, Ursula?
Clearly, I haven't seen them swinging.
Swinging.
Beth and Everett says.
Swinging.
Ursula is so sheltered.
I don't know. Maybe they're just so common in Idaho.
Wait.
You have to pass a law.
Am I the only one that never had heard about it till today? Nope.
Oh, 206 just gave me another sweeping statement to give out.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Thanks, 206. I agree with you. Women with lashes on their cars are the worst. You're insecure if you have lashes on your cars. You've seen those
on the headlights?
On the headlight, yeah. You've never seen lashes on the headlight?
Why insecure? I mean, okay.
Maybe you're insecure.
Okay,
Maybe you're insecure, G.
Shane and wait, hold on.
Freedom of speech, bro.
Shane in Gig Harbor points out, and I didn't even think about it. Ursula's going to have to go to HR for Googling.
You know what? We have remarkable levity with what we can search on our computers in the name of, journalistic integrity and proper research for topics.
Oh, my word.
So I'm glad for that. All right, let's move.
And by the way, I just want you guys to know, there are certain topics that you can't research before going into the topic. Because had Ursula researched that beforehand, that topic would have sucked. The fact that you had to find out in real time what truck testes were was radio gold.
Yeah. Here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I assumed that they were the dice.
From the mirror? No.
Well,
and I thought it was because it was like obstruction of view. We can get into all of this.
In all fairness, they could identify as dice.
Okay.
Today's Seattle Times. I see Moira McDonald's column. She says, sometimes you just need a photo of a dog wearing a tutu. She points out the small animal at the Pet Expo in Bucharest who looked very pleased to be wearing a citrus-colored poof along with a flower-bedecked green bodice and what appeared to be wings. She hopes it becomes a trend. Gee, your thoughts on clothes for animals?
Sweeping statement. Stay away from those folks that want to dress up their animals. The only reason why I'm still with my wife today is because it's too late. She dressed up our little cat, Frankie, and I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. I would rather her kiss a dog in the mouth than to be dressing the animal. Stay away from people that dress their animals up. Ursula, I think that's a problem.
What? Why does it get you so worked up?
It does. It's just weird. Oh, look, I just dressed up Frankie. Frankie doesn't want the clothes on.
For the record,
the dogs don't want clothes on.
This is true. For the record, we don't dress Scooter before anyone, goes on beyond Ursula's so sheltered and now she dresses her dog. I don't dress the dog. However, when he comes back from the groomer and has a little scarf on, it's really cute. Okay, so I will say that. And there are people who have this tiny little pups and they do get cold. And if they're going to carry him around, I see why they'll put a little sweater on him, to keep him warm.
The dogs aren't cold. They're trembling because they're nervous and they need medication to go about their lives. It's like,
you ever notice when they're dressed up, when the dogs are dressed up, their tails are tucked between their legs?
Yes.
Because they're scared.
Yes.
But what is this on my body? So that lets you know that this animal that this person has, it's more about look at me than it is about the animal. I worry about the safety Like I said, I was already married to Lillian when she did that. So I wanted to leave, but I couldn't.
Is Frankie still getting dressed up?
Here's the thing. I don't say nothing. I just tell y'all. I don't say nothing to my wife about it. I don't say that I'm judging her because you don't want to. I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
So I tell y'all about it.
I'm gonna say this. People who dress their dogs, without getting ridiculous, but people who take that much care of their dogs, I will say they are generally the people who also call them fur babies and that kind of thing. And you know what? To me, that spells love.
Accessorizing your animal?
I'm just going to say that.
What do you judge more? Truck nuts or people dressing their animals?
I'm going with the truck nuts. Up until today, I did not even know they existed. My gosh.
By the way, we got people texting in saying that Ursula, your response to this has probably been the best ever.
You know, we finally found out what unites America, and that is the discovery that Ursula was today years old when she learned what truck nuts were.
Hey, Kevin in Seattle says he also learned about them on the show today.
That is impossible.
No, it's not.
That is okay.
This is the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Independence Day, when we celebrate this great nation of ours and the many reasons we're grateful to call ourselves Americans. Freedom, liberty, time spent with friends and loved ones, and way too many burgers and hot dogs to keep count of. Wishing you a safe and happy 4th of July from KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, mynorthwest.com, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Jed Foundation.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Peter King. Whether it's a weekend in the hills or fireworks at a parade, Americans are celebrating the country's 249th birthday. Correspondent Jim Crisula.
Tens of millions of Americans will enjoy the 4th of July in countless ways. Dan is heading to the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia.
We're headed out to a cabin with some friends for the weekend. We're going to just hang out at the house, go swimming.
And he adds, some fireworks for sure.
I'm Bruce Marcus in Three Lakes, Wisconsin, a small community that draws thousands for its July 4th parade. Colette Sorgel is one of the organizers.
We normally have between 8,000 and 10,000 people come for the day, and what makes it special is the variety of bands. We have several color guards going through.
The weather is ideal and patriotism is on full display. American flags are everywhere. Bruce Marcus for CBS News, Three Lakes, Wisconsin.
This year's Coney Island hot dog eating contest is in the books. Joey Chestnut has just won the men's division again with 70 and a half dogs. And the women's division is seen on ESPN.
In first place for her 11th championship with 33 Nathan's Famous hot dogs and buns, the great Mickey Sudo.
Her 33 fell way short of last year's 51. She says the buns were bigger this year. President Trump will sign his big, beautiful budget bill later this afternoon. And while it was touch and go for a while, CBS's Robert Costa says party loyalty won out.
This shows how much power President Trump has within the Republican Party. Usually these big legislative fights have a lot of intra-party quarreling. What you saw is President Trump was able to get almost everything he wanted at a relatively fast pace.
The president's eyes have also been on Ukraine. CBS's Nicole Skanga is at the White House.
President Trump spoke with Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky Friday morning, hours after Kyiv was hit by a barrage of Russian drones and missiles. In a social media post, Zelensky said the two leaders discussed air defenses and agreed to work together to protect Ukraine's skies.
We count on continuation of American support.
Almost 10,000 Philadelphia city workers are on strike, affecting trash collection, pool and library hours. Union leaders say the two sides are far apart. The city has offered a 13% raise over 4 years. Mayor Sherelle Parker at a 4th of July event.
This is a challenging time for our city right now, as my administration continues to work to reach a fair and fiscally responsible contract with our municipal workers union.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning and happy Independence Day. I'm Tom Brock. Local fire crews busy overnight with two separate two-alarm fires. One broke out in Normandy Park at a house on Normandy Terrace Southwest near Riviera Place. That home was either under construction or being renovated. Pictures posted by King County Fire District 2 shows piles of lumber and construction material. The flames spread into the roof. It took firefighters more than 90 minutes to extinguish the fire. In Puyallup, huge flames erupted from another two-alarm fire at an apartment complex. This was just before 3 a.m. Fire broke out at a unit on 9th Street Southwest near downtown Puyallup. Flames shooting out the front door and the back patio when crews got there. Everybody made it out safely. Firefighters were concerned the flames would spread through the attic, but they stopped it in time. The causes of both fires still under investigation. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office says a suspected drunk driver slammed into one of its deputies last night. According to KIRO 7 TV, Sheriff Derek Sanders says the deputy was not hurt. This happened in the Yelm area. Officers took the driver into custody. A new study shows Seattle has the 5th fastest rising house prices in the nation. The research by framing experts Level Frames shows prices will go up $44,000 over the next year, from $887,000 to $932,000. Your KIRO News Radio forecast for the 4th of July, partly cloudy, 75 degrees. During the night's fireworks shows, partly to mostly cloudy, overnight lows around 54 degrees. We're expected to reach the 80s by Monday and Tuesday. I'm Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
From the Carter Subaru Studios, this is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Monday and welcome into the Gee and Ursula Show. What a beautiful week it's going to be. Why? Because it's Ursula's birthday week. Good morning,
Same
Ursula.
with Sully. Sully and I have the same birthday, August 8th.
Hey, Ursula's birthday's coming up.
Yes, it is. And I'm not going to be here to celebrate with all of you, but I will be thinking of you on my birthday. How's that? Hey, coming up at 10:30, we are going to have a guest. The head of the Downtown Seattle Association is going to explain why he thinks this proposed stay out of drug use areas idea, otherwise known as SODA, is a good thing, is a necessary thing for downtown.
Okay.
So we'll have that conversation coming up. It is a controversial idea, but he's going to explain why he thinks it would be helpful.
Okay.
But right now, we want to hear from you. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. And now it is time for our What's New at 10. And the question is, what have you changed your mind on over the last 4.5 years? What have been the most dramatic changes for you? Maybe because of conversations we've had or new information we've had over the years.
Yeah. I'm glad we're having this discussion, and I hope you all join in with us. Make sure you text in some of the things that you have changed your mind on since the beginning of the Gee and Ursula Show. Well, I have a few, but let me start off with one that is a big deal. When we first started the show, all the way for a long, very long time, and by the way, that doesn't mean I'm right with this opinion, by the way, but it's just my opinion. I was very much so against teens being tried as adults for crimes,
I remember
right?
that.
Like before the age of 18, I was they don't
brain development,
all that kind of stuff. I was against that. I've argued with you on a text line, and you're like, oh, gee, that 16-year-old or that 15-year-old should be tried as an adult for that crime. And I was like, no. Again, I am not saying that my opinion today is right. It's just my opinion. Yes! I think these teens should be charged as adults. Some of these some bad kids. No doubt about it. So that's one change.
Would you say then, because you know that there has been this push led by the King County Executive, Dow Constantine, to shut down the youth detention center?
Now, I was always against that. The whole shutdown of the...
so you've always felt like there is a place where if other options don't work, there has to be a place where you can put basically the worst of the worst, or, for safety reasons, have some place to put them that is not home and home detention monitoring or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
There's room for a jail.
Yeah, I was always against that. I don't know what that was about. That's crazy that was even a thought, to spend all this money to have this youth detention jail and then be like, no, we shouldn't use, What was that about?
Yeah.
So
let me ask you a question then, G. What do you tell, you 4 years ago? If I say there's a 16-year-old who is arrested for a shooting, right? They shoot someone in the arm, the person survives, but they get an attempted murder charge as an adult at the age of 16. Once they hit 21, they're going to be in adult prison for another 10 years.
Do I have an issue with that?
No. How would you respond to that?
I would have fought against that tooth and nail. I would have been like, no.
Why is that okay now?
I think it's okay. Wow, this really sounds bad. I think it's okay now. And the reason why this change happens now, because we are at a point where we're doing absolutely nothing about our gun problem. Nothing. So we are going to do nothing. And with that being said, for some reason, I think that there is for some reason, this understanding with youth that if I do this, I'm not gonna be punished as hard as the adult. And the truth is I think some of these 15, 16-year-olds are smarter today because they have the information. They have more access to information than we did years ago, right? So I think that we are living in a time where some of these 15 and 16-year-olds are just like, well, if I do it, it's going to be no big deal. And so that needs to change if we're going to get to the next generation.
Yeah.
See, I could actually agree with you a little bit on that, because I think there's always going to be some people who are going to be a danger to society, regardless of if they've had a consequence. And if they get out of jail, 10 years from now instead of 2, there's 8 years where they're potentially not causing problems.
Yeah.
I also think I trust our police and prosecutors a little bit more to use discretion in whom they arrest, with what they charge with, because I think there's a much more humane approach that is believed in than I had thought at the beginning of this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think throughout the show, I think we have seen where the pendulum swung so far to the idea of no incarceration. Let's just look for all of the restorative justice efforts, some of which can be very successful, but others have not really had a proven track record.
Sure.
And I think the idea of getting rid of any potential real time for people who make very adult-like crimes or commit very, very serious crimes, I think we all probably have landed kind of in the same area in that context. Okay, one of my biggest changes, I have to admit, I may be wrong on the whole idea of legalization of marijuana. So I've been very vocal about voting against it.
This is new.
Whoa.
Got a breaking news sounder somewhere.
Wait.
I
need
had
to
another
explain.
hot cup of coffee.
I know. I need to explain.
Go ahead.
I don't regret that I voted the way I did.
Okay.
Because I voted against it.
Okay.
I still worry deeply about the effects that legalization has had when it comes to young people. We just talked about kids making poor choices and what the access of marijuana now and the messaging to young kids, because I think it really has become a bigger issue for young kids and the use of marijuana. So, but that said, I see where the trend is going, that more and more states are legalizing it. More and more countries are legalizing it. And one of the biggest impacts on me has been the conversations that you and I have had, and you have shared stories about how your family members and some of your loved ones, their families and their lives have been shattered as a result of arrests in the past. How you cannot recover from that and how it stays with you forever. And so I have appreciated those conversations, and I can admit that maybe some of my thinking is very much from the past and kind of the boogeyman of, I have personal experiences seeing how marijuana affected my oldest brother and what path that led to, but not everybody's that way. And I have to recognize that.
Oh, thanks, Ursula.
Ursula, continuing on that theme, I was super wrong about full decriminalization of drugs.
Agreed.
I'll admit it.
Wait, hey, Chef, you do the speaking on this topic.
Yeah.
I just want you to know I'm jumping on your train, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It is a simple fact that the more accessible something becomes, the more people are going to adopt it or use it. And until anyone can walk into a treatment center any time of the day, any day of the week, and get treatment for free, it's not a good idea to decriminalize drugs. I also still, at the same time, don't believe we can arrest our way out of the problem with the traffickers, et cetera, because every time I see one of those bust photos, you know what I think? Oh, okay. That means there's going to be a short-term loss of supply in the local area. The drug price is going to go up. The user then is going to have to steal more things to support their habit. Oh, and by the way, the more people that get arrested, the more violent the trade becomes, the more expensive the drugs become, and it's this vicious circle.
Yes.
But we need to have treatment on demand before we even consider it.
I agree that with the need for more treatment. And one thing that we were remiss in we didn't mention rehabilitation when it comes to jail, because I think a part of jail has to be rehabilitation and an opportunity to reform.
Right.
And people are texting in about that, and that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to admit one other thing where I've been wrong.
Oh, Ursula, you did another cup of coffee.
I had a very hard stance, and I have a better understanding. I'm just saying that I've not fully changed my mind on it because I'm still soured on the whole college sports thing.
Okay.
But I think you've managed to really emphasize it enough that I understand that for too many years it has been unfair to students. I've always believed that a college athlete, student athlete, that the education was enough compensation. I have always felt like that should be enough. That's a great compensation or trade for being able to play. But I understand now that for too many athletes, it's all consuming, and really there is an imbalance, and the amount of money that schools and college coaches make compared to the students. I mean, I'll still say I'm not a big fan of college sports the way it's played out, but I also understand that I'm in the minority now,
right,
when it comes to this idea that the cost of tuition should be enough.
I want to go back to, and I got to really throw myself under the bus with what Chef brought up with the decriminalization of drugs. And I know there's a lot of people, text in and be like, oh, now, G, you want to change. Yes. And I think to really put a spotlight on Chef's point was, it's one of those things, Ursula, where you're just like, wait, what was I thinking? And I mean by what was I thinking, like, okay, people are going to do drugs. We all know that. We all know that. We know that the demand for drugs is at an all-time high, also because we haven't done anything over the last 50 years, but that's another story. But I sit here on this show and I talk about the last 50 years and how we just have hardly no treatment. And the fact that if you do want to get treatment sometimes, it's going to cost you money. So you need to have kind of some access to some funds or a good full-paid job, and then sometimes you don't keep the job because of your drug problem, and it's just a vicious cycle. But I don't know what I was thinking when it comes to decriminalizing drugs. And like, hey, if you want to do drugs, do drugs. And they're going to do drugs. And then there's no treatment centers. Like, what was I thinking? Like, full stop. Stop the press. We have got to. You can't do drugs when we don't have the treatment centers.
And it's a bad idea when Oregon decides, I think we went too far.
We went too far, man. But why didn't it? Well, why didn't it dawn on me?
Because I don't think we were clear on the critical lack of supply when it comes to treatment, how expensive it is, how few people can get in, etc. And then also at the beginning of the show, this was really before fentanyl popped. The most lethal, most potent, cheapest drug throughout the course of all human history before that really started to ravage our streets. Do you want me to admit a really big one?
Yeah.
I've been holding on to this for a long time. I said that defund the police had a really good point, and I was super wrong about that.
Wait, you on your own on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I got some nasty looks from both of you and some nasty texts.
Okay, talk to us.
That's fine. Okay, so at the time, back in 2019, 2020, I'll admit that I had a lot of anger built up about all the videos that I had seen and the personal stories I had heard shared with me from, friends of color or not, about how they'd been treated by law enforcement and how they never seemed to be held accountable. Our laws have changed significantly in this state, and I think that's a good thing. Also, at the time, I'd seen the Seattle Police Department get a 30% raise in their entire budget, in their entire budget in 2018, with no visible results to the public. And if you're looking at the largest expenditure of any city, any county, it's always police department. What do we get for that amount of money? If we're pouring more pot into it, and it seems like we get less. That being said, as soon as the rhetoric got really, really bad, it was pretty disgusting movement. I mean, I still hold fault for some of the Seattle Police Department kind of choosing to go to war with all protesters instead of the problematic ones. Yeah. But, police are a critical part of our community. Yes. And we don't have this bridge solution between criminal justice and, empathetic, compassionate policies. There's no in-between that we have. And until you have an in-between, we can't replace a system with nothing.
Well, if you go back to those times, Ursula, when the defund the police topic kept coming up, and
I think people wanted to assign it to us, and we were both like, no.
It was interesting, and I'll tell you again exactly what I told you all before. I said, because it felt like it was being attached to the black community as if they wanted to defund the police and we need to reach out because of the bias that happens and the disproportionate arrest and all of these things.
It really was some very specific black local activists who pushed it.
Right. And we know, and then that person went out of town and exactly. I kept telling people, I don't know one black person that is okay with this whole defund the police. I've said it before. As a matter of fact, one of the things that, because I had a family member that says, man, why you always throwing your mom under the bus as being kind of conservative? And to which we had a conversation a lot of times in the black community, the black community is more conservative than people think. Right? Seriously. When it comes to law enforcement, I mean, people have this, I think sometimes people have this idea that just because a lot of crime happens in a certain area, that the people that live in that area don't want to be and feel safe.
No,
right?
I hear you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Brian in Bellevue says, this show changed my mind on one metric ton of things since the beginning, and I'm a better person for it.
Can I get Destiny's in here too?
Yeah.
She's got a great one. She says, the biggest thing you've changed my mind is not all police are in it for the greater good, and they need to be held accountable when they hold such a powerful position in society. And G has convinced me that not all shoes are equal, and mine in comparison are just plain boring. We hear you on that one.
Wow.
I love it.
That felt good. That felt good to just say these things, right?
I've been holding that in.
Okay, I want to also mention that I was wrong in making a comment about RFK's voice without having looked into it, because he does have a neurological condition called spasmodic dysphonia, and it often results in a shaky or tight or strained sounding voice. So, you learn something new every day.
Can I just say one more thing? My parting shots?
Yes.
I don't think smoking marijuana is good for people to be doing every single day. All right, there it is.
Oh.
I just made that point. I don't know if we get some people mad at me.
Especially when you're young.
I'm just saying, y'all.
Moderation in everything.
In everything.
Including how we talk on this show.
Yes.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
A Pacific Northwest community searching for answers.
Tragedy in northern Idaho.
Unbelievable. You just don't expect somebody to do that to a firefighter.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is there.
Those firefighters, they arrived here to put out a fire started by the suspect. They had no idea where those bullets were coming from.
Stay with KIRO News Radio for the latest from the local voices you trust.
Attacks on first responders is sick.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
Celebrate the red, white, and beautiful during the July 4th sale at Dania Furniture. Take up to 50% off an assortment of styles for your whole home. Be sure to shop early for the best deals. Stop by our 4 local showrooms today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Tired of sitting on your suitcase? 2 words. Packing cubes. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway, an alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Now open and free through summer.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning and happy Independence Day. I'm Tom Brock. An Alaska Army National Guard helicopter crew has found the body of a cruise ship passenger after she went for a hike near Juneau. They found the body last night. A 62-year-old Kentucky woman told family members she was getting off the Norwegian Bliss cruise ship to hike, but she never made it back to the ship by departure time Tuesday evening. Crews found her body near Gold Ridge above the Alaska capital city. The medical examiner will determine the cause of death. A wildfire burning south of Alta Lake here in Washington state and near Pateros has now been downgraded in size. KHQ radio reports it is now about 900 acres from an estimated 2,000 acres yesterday. Still, residents are being told to be ready to get out. Level 2 evacuation notices have been issued. According to Okanagan County Emergency Management, the Apple Acres fire is active on the north side of Arbuckle Mountain, about 1 mile north of Wells Dam, and it is moving north. Police in Los Angeles are bracing for a 4th of July that could include more large protests against the Trump administration. KNX's Craig Figner reports.
4th of July protests are being organized nationwide and here in Los Angeles. Among them, No Kings 2.0, expected to bring thousands of people to downtown Los Angeles. LA Mayor Karen Bass says she has no plans to call for a curfew,
but it is 150% inappropriate for people to resort to any level of violence.
Your KIRO News Radio forecast, partly cloudy, 75 degrees today during tonight's evening fireworks shows. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. Overnight lows will be around 54 degrees. I'm Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Right now, we need to talk, and I don't know why Nick played Bad Boys, what you gonna do?
I wonder why.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, we're waiting with bated breath to find out why you got pulled over.
I got pulled over, y'all. Police pulled me over on the 512 on the freeway. I'm heading towards Puyallup. I'm heading towards the gym. I'm going and...
What are you driving?
I'm driving my Tesla, right? Mm-hmm. Driving the Tesla. I'm rolling, and I had just got the script. I'm telling you the truth. I just got the script, no excuse, for today's NFL draft party that I'm hosting, and I had just gotten it. So I looked at my watch. I saw what it was. I said, oh, that's the script. And then I said that when I would get the script, that I would let DJ Super Sam know about it. And so I grabbed my phone. And I go to text my guy, DJ Super Sam. I'm just telling y'all the truth, y'all. I go to text him that, and I go to do it, and I put my phone down. I look to my, no, matter of fact, I didn't even put my phone down. It wasn't even down yet. I had sent it. I looked to my left, and the State Patrol in an unmarked car, blue SUV, is riding alongside of me looking dead at me. Now, I was thinking, because I don't really have the thick tint like I used to. You know what I mean? I got that medium tint. And he looked at me, and then he got right behind me, and he pulled me over. I got over. I said, man, dang it. And so he comes out. He goes around to the passenger side of the car. I roll it down, and he says, how you doing today? I said, I'm good. He says, want to let you know. I tell you all everything's being recorded and all that kind of thing. And he says, what's up? I said, man, I messed up. That's what's up, man. I said, I ain't got no excuse. I messed up. I sent this text. I shouldn't have done it, and you got me. I have no excuse. And I said to him, I said, the crazy part about this is that I don't want to have to tell this story, but I'm going to tell this story because, I'm going to tell this story just to people because I've messed up.
Oh, you threw the I'm G Scott card out there. Oh, gee.
No. I actually explained to him what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, okay. So then
I'm hosting a big NFL draft party. I'm a very important person.
Right. So I go, he says, well, okay, let me have your license, registration, and insurance and all that kind of good stuff. I said, okay, hey, officer, is it okay if I can hit the screen so I can open it up?
Yes.
So I have to do the password on the screen. It opens up. He says, well, that's how I know you're the owner of the car. I said, okay, cool. I grabbed the registration and insurance and gave that to him. And he says, all right, I'll be back. And he goes back, and he comes back in, and he said, all right, Mr. Scott, you know not to be doing that again. I said, man, thank you, bro. You ain't going to give me a ticket? My man, thank you. Now, I know his name, but I don't want to say his name. But I'm sure probably he's listening because he is a listener of the show. Oh. Yeah, he is a listener of the show.
Oh. Okay.
I don't want to say his name, but my man is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there are going to be people who are upset who say, he gave you a big warning?
What are you going to be upset about? Like people don't get warnings.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, did you get special treatment?
No, I think. Do people get warnings?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a warning?
Absolutely.
Have you ever gotten a warning?
Well, when I was on I-5 recently, and I had a State Patrol vehicle right next to me, and I looked over at him, and he looks at me, and he just points to the side of the road because I was in the carpool lane. I ain't getting no warning.
Oh, yeah. So
did you really do that?
So here,
I told this story.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm going to tell you all. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by telling you this story because this topic of texting and driving has been a topic on our show, not just on the show, but the last 2 days, even today, it has been a topic. And so for this to happen, I want to throw myself under the bus. I want to tell you all I need to be better. And I also want to tell you, like, on some serious stuff, though, because this is important, too. That officer was dope. And let me tell you what was real cool about that officer is that when he pulled me over, he came over, he asked, hey, how you doing today? Right? And he wasn't a jerk. He was solid human being. Like I said, I know his name. I don't want to say his name, but he is a really cool dude. Even if I would have got a ticket, he's still a cool dude. I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yes. And I think that is the best thing that you can do is admit. The last time I got pulled over, which wasn't that long ago, I was driving a little bit distracted. It was late. I was tired.
Right.
And I just flat out said, you know what? I am dealing with a lot of grief right now. I just got back from the Philippines, was within that first week. And I said, I'm just dealing with a lot. I wasn't thinking. I really messed up. Mm-hmm. And I was fully expecting a ticket. And the trooper said, just be more careful. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to hurt anybody else. And
yeah,
it was But I always remind myself, whether it's like a text like yours, because we're all most of us are guilty of doing something that we shouldn't be doing behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And each and every time I just say to myself, was that worth my life? Was that worth someone else's life?
He did say it to me. He says, this is a nice car. Do you really want to be doing that? I said, I don't, man. I don't. But again, the officer was, hey, man, he's real cool. He's a listener to the show, so appreciate that as well. And peace and love and safety to all law enforcement that has to go out there.
State Patrol?
That was State Patrol in a blue, unmarked. You got me, bro. You got me. All right. What's new at 10? Seahawks draft is coming up next. Gee Ursula.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Pacific Northwest community searching for answers.
Tragedy in northern Idaho.
Unbelievable. You just don't expect somebody to do that to a firefighter.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is there.
Those firefighters, they arrived here to put out a fire started by the suspect. They had no idea where those bullets were coming from.
Stay with KIRO News Radio for the latest from the local voices you trust.
Attacks on first responders is sick.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
What's as American as apple pie? Hot tubs. And during our All-American Hot Tub event, you'll get sweet savings on a fabulous saltwater hot tub and enjoy interest-free financing through 2028. OlympiCHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about scouting.
Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is back at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, July 23rd through August 12th. Take in stunning lakeside views, grab autographs from your favorite players, and let the kids join in on pre-practice football drills and more. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was gonna do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Well, I shouldn't say you're going to like this. Relate to this. I mean... Okay.
I said I would relate to it. It's okay.
All right. It's my bad. I work hard each day and come home dreaming of a hot, home-cooked meal. But my wife can't cook. I mean, the woman could burn water. I've tried everything I could think of to help her improve. I've printed out recipes and even had my mom come over and give her lessons. But she just can't do it. I started to bring home dinner most nights, but then she felt guilty and wanted to try again. Nope, didn't work. So we got prepackaged dinners. All she has to do is heat them up, but that doesn't even work. Some are just too cold, some are too hot, some is burned. She's a kitchen nightmare. You tell this person didn't go to any DEI trainings. Anyway, so now I reached out to an old friend, a professional chef in the restaurant, to come in and cook for us one night a week. She's great, and we have leftovers for the next night. She usually makes an extra entree or two for later in the week. It helps, and my wife loves it. Now she wants her 2 nights a week and is planning that we can make those 2 nights stretch for dinner all week long. Hold on, though. It's not free. The costs are starting to pile up. I can't keep footing the bill for personal chefs or takeout every night. She's a stay-at-home mom, and I need her to hold up her part of the deal. How do I fix this? 888-973-5476, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Oh, Ursula, you up to bat first. Help. 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 Help.
Okay. Now, first of all, I'm not even sure she could be that bad as he describes. I wouldn't put myself in that category. And frankly, I'm hard on myself when it comes to cooking. I cook pretty well. I mean, when I want to. I think it's really a matter of maybe she just really doesn't want to. Yeah. And if that's the case, he says it's her end of the deal. Now, she's a stay-at-home mom. I'm going to guess that there are other areas where she excels. If the bringing in the personal chef is not affordable, then you can't afford it. So come up with there are other options. So the bringing in those ready to make food kits. Mm-hmm. If that's not it, well then find other things. Bring take home. Find other less. How about cooking together? There must be other things in the marriage that are working for you, and focus on those. But I'm not going to say anything like kick her to the curb or anything like that. There's other redeeming qualities. So she's not a great cook.
Right.
Actually, I got to tell you, when my dad met my mom. Okay, my mom was a famous singer in the Philippines. She was not someone who had any desire to spend time in the kitchen, and she didn't know how to cook. She did burn toast. And my dad's German sister, dad came from a big, big family, and his sister's like, why would you marry her? She doesn't even know how to cook. Yeah. My mom actually went to Cordon Bleu. Yeah, and she took some cooking classes. My mom became the best cook that I know, best chef that I know.
Yeah.
There's hope.
Okay, before Paul goes, I want to go back to a question that we've asked all week long.
Yeah.
And it's been a theme. And the question early in the week was, is it possible that in our lifetime we will see a woman president? And I told you all
you said no. I say yes.
And the reason why I say no is because of this message. Because first, let's just, without being PC, without in your mind, right now, some of you believe that women are supposed to be doing the cooking in the kitchen. And until you get that out of your mind, until you stop with that gender-based ideology, we're going to continue to have this result. Not one time did this dude say, you know what? Maybe I should take a cooking class because I like food so much. Yeah. Maybe I should do it. Not once did he say that. Yep. He brought in a cook. Now it's too much money. Look, if it's that important to you,
you do it.
Then
Yes.
you do it.
Yes.
You, like there are
But
things.
in his mind, he said, I work outside of the home, so her end of the deal is to take care of everything inside the home. She's taking care of a lot,
I'm
even
sure
without the cooking.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you are a stay-at-home mom, that doesn't mean that you are obligated to be in the kitchen. Bruh, if you want a good home-cooked meal, then you cook it. It ain't rocket science. Paul?
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, if you want food made and done your way, make the food done your way. Prep cook on your Sundays.
Yes.
Make that chicken and make it last all week. Some people can't cook, and that's okay. Just because that they're your partner, your wife, or they stay at home, doesn't matter who they are. If they can't cook, that's all right. But they can get better, and you know what's going to make them more interested in learning how to cook? Doing it together.
There you go.
Together.
And not being so judgmental.
Yeah, and it's like I gotta call some BS. Too hot on the prepared meals? Get out of here. Those things are so easy. You can follow that. You can do that.
I'm going to tell you right now before you go, Nick.
Yeah.
I love my wife. My wife does great cooking. No doubt about it. She's a great cook. But, man, I be looking at my wife with my good eye because I got to watch her because she gets a little too happy on the salt.
That's what my fiance says the same thing to me.
I got to sit there and watch her.
Yep.
You know what?
I turn
if
my
you don't
back.
like that salt, you go into the kitchen.
I do. I be in the kitchen. Because I don't want that salt. And for some reason, and I turn my back, and I turn around real fast, and I caught her with the shaker. Ooh, shake it, shake, shake. All right,
Only
go
a
ahead.
few pinches now, but if one of your deal breakers is having a good cook in the house besides you, there's a problem here. But it not be coming from the one cooking. Perhaps he's being complacent, not willing to help out with the area of duties, or doesn't want to pay for someone else to prepare the food for both of them. On the other hand, if he's having to get up from the couch because of finding smoke oozing from the kitchen while she's trying to heat up a can of mac and cheese or something, it's a fair point to bring up the issue of burning up the food and sounding off the detector. You don't want to push the duty on her just irregardless, but she's got to have a little bit of potential, I feel like.
For sure. I'm telling you, hey, Ursula, it's a lot of brothers that be watching in the kitchen with their good eye. I watch you with that salt. You know about that high blood pressure. We need that sodium. Matter of fact, Costco got this little salmon. I don't know if y'all been to Costco. They got this salmon thing. This box is really good, but it's so salty.
Sodium. Yeah.
The sodium's through the roof. Sodium's a bad word.
Sure tastes good, though.
It does. You're dang right.
Gee Ursula.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
Pacific Northwest community searching for answers.
Tragedy in northern Idaho.
Unbelievable. You just don't expect somebody to do that to a firefighter.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is there.
Those firefighters, they arrived here to put out a fire started by the suspect. They had no idea where those bullets were coming from.
Stay with KIRO News Radio for the latest from the local voices you trust.
Attacks on first responders is sick.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. You know, I've been a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic since 2009, and Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. You know what's amazing, Doctor? The feelings that you have after just a couple of months. You sleep better. Your strength and vitality, it is evident that it works. It's really a mindset, though, Dr. Mixon, because a lot of people, well, this is what's supposed to happen.
Let us help you be stronger, faster, leaner, smarter, sexier, but most important, happier. I'm less impressed by how many years I might live, but how much I live during my years. You know, the option is here. Nobody's going to make you go to longevity, but the opportunity is there, and all you have to do is take advantage of it. I don't know why anybody would not want to do what we do.
And that's where Longevity Medical Clinic comes in. So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Heather Bosch. This holiday is bringing life-threatening flooding to central Texas. 15 inches of rain came down overnight about 100 miles west of Austin.
Independence Day began with water rescues and evacuations in Kerr County, Texas, as the Guadalupe River rose 30 feet overnight. Kerrville police asking anyone near the river to evacuate. Sergeant Jonathan Lamb.
They're pulling people out of vehicles. They're pulling people out of homes and apartments that are flooded.
The situation could get worse. Dan Brunoff's the chief meteorologist for KRLD Radio in Dallas.
And this complex of rain that just sat over these areas northwest of San Antonio overnight is now starting to move towards San Antonio.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
Thunderstorms are blamed for at least 3 deaths in New Jersey. And in St. Pete Beach, Florida, first responders are helping 3 people struck by lightning. No other details just yet. This Independence Day finds some Americans divided.
Tens of millions of Americans are set to celebrate
celebrate the 4th of July in their own way. Beth Townsend and her family will make up for some lost time.
We didn't do anything last year for the 4th, so this year it was nice to be able to go out and do things with family and watch fireworks and cook out and swim.
Some Southern California communities are canceling or rescheduling July 4th events because of the recent immigration crackdown. Jim Crisilda, CBS News.
To Coney Island, where a winner's been crowned in the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest on ESPN.
The Nathan's Famous 4th of July champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
Joey Chestnut returned for his 17th win, wolfing down 70.5 hot dogs. He was absent last year following a dispute with Major League Eating for sponsoring meatless Impossible Foods. Congress has delivered a budget that largely promotes President Trump's agenda, and he is signing it into law today. CBS's Aaron Navarro.
As he will sign that bill, which he has called the, quote, one big beautiful bill, there will be a flyover of B-2 Spirit bombers over the White House. These are the same aircrafts that were used in the American strikes on Iranian nuclear sites just a couple weeks ago.
The president and first lady are hosting a July 4th picnic for military families and other guests after the bill signing. The first group of migrants has arrived at the new detention center in the Florida Everglades dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. Florida's Republican Attorney General posted on social media hundreds were headed there. The state's Republican governor says the facility will have capacity for 3,000 when fully operational. The center surrounded by alligators. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning and happy 4th of July. I'm Tom Brock. Fire crews were busy overnight with two separate two-alarm fires. First in Puyallup, huge flames erupted from a fire that broke out in an apartment complex just before 3 a.m. The big flames shot from an apartment on 9th Street Southeast near Highway 512. When crews arrived, fire was shooting out the front door and out of the back patio. Everybody made it out, nobody hurt. Firefighters entered through several other units to make sure the flames didn't spread through the attic space, the cause under investigation. Then in Normandy Park last night, another two-alarm fire at a house that was either under construction or being renovated. This was on Normandy Terrace Southwest. Pictures posted by Fire District 2 show piles of lumber, brand new windows, construction material. The flames spread through the roof, which contained rigid foam insulation. It took firefighters about 90 minutes to get that fire under control. The cause also under investigation. A fisherman helped police reel in a suspect.
This guy's going to help let us use his boat.
Police say a 32-year-old took off from a hit and run in Pierce County and led officers on a 30-mile high-speed pursuit down I-5. When he stopped in Centralia, he bolted into the Chehalis River. Then a fisherman offered his boat to help officers reel in the suspect.
No one's trying to kill you, man. Get up on land right now. No one's trying to kill your dog. Here. Grab this rope.
The suspect now faces charges of DUI and attempting to elude. Your 4th of July forecast, partly cloudy, 75 degrees. Tonight's evening fireworks shows will happen under partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows at around 54 degrees. Saturday, partly cloudy and 74 degrees. I'm Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
From the Carter Subaru Studios, this is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Right before I turned the microphone on, Ursula told me no follow-up questions, so I will not be doing any follow-up questions. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. No follow-up questions to that scenarios. If you missed that scenarios, make sure you listen to our podcast, which will be available shortly after the show today.
And that nice little Easter egg you dropped at the very end.
Yes, I was doing my best impression of a Taylor Swift Easter egg.
My buddy Susan in Everett has me cracking up. She says, I'm a bit troubled by that at times. My mind works a bit like G's. Wait, you're troubled by that, Susan? My mind did the same thing with the full spread. I'm a grandma, and that woman just flunked an IQ test. How is that photographer using photos in his private time? So if you missed that scenarios, it was a good discussion that happened at 10:45 at the end of the show. You can go ahead and listen to the podcast. We would love it if you did that. Now, Ursula, you ready for Agree to Disagree?
Yes.
And there will be no follow-up questions to what you told us.
Yes.
Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Does the boss automatically deserve the perks? Costco has a new CFO, and he will not be getting a parking spot thanks to Costco's quirky company policy. So the way it works at Costco is if you want a parking spot, it's allocated on tenure, not seniority, which means that Gary Millerchip, he's the new CFO of a company with $50 billion in annual sales, has to park his car across the street from the HQ, something he revealed to the Wall Street Journal in a recent interview. Gee, does the boss automatically deserve the spot or the perks in the office?
No, they don't. And I think anybody that does that, see, this is why Costco that's why they do so well. Like, to show love to tenure, to show love to people that have been there. So, for an example, if Roscoe has been with the company 25 years and the new boss of the company just got there 2 years ago, but the new boss gets to park in a spot called Boss, and Roscoe, who's been there for 25 years, has to park across the street because he doesn't have the title next to his name, that's backwards. The boss should park across the street, and Roscoe should have premium parking because he's been there for 25 years. Show love to tenure.
I love the idea of showing love to tenure. And I'm going to guess that is something that is welcomed by Costco employees.
The long-term ones.
The long-term ones. But my question is, why wouldn't they already have some reserved spaces for their executives?
Why do
it's an egalitarian company, I guess.
Why do executives need premium spots?
You just said it's one of the perks. It is one of the things that it comes.
I mean,
the
salary isn't enough.
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be whining about not having a parking spot based on, I'm sure, the salary.
This is every job, right? Like, I go pull up to Alice's daycare, and there's one of the parking spots there that on the concrete it says, the boss. I know who it's for. If you go to my church, there's a sign that says, for the pastor.
Wait.
You can go to a school for the principal.
By the way, if a parking spot, look, let's be crystal clear, Ursula. If you park in a parking spot that's called the boss, you've got problems. There's no way in the world you should feel comfortable
Does
parking in
it actually say the words the boss?
Yes, and stencil outline. Yeah, blue paint.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If that's not tongue-in-cheek and obvious to everybody that it's tongue-in-cheek, it just feels a little, ugh.
Do I have to take up for the bosses now? Absolutely, they deserve it. They're the hardest working at any company. They're responsible for all the decisions, right? It is their butt on the line if things go wrong. So, of course, I happily park in those spots when they're open. Whenever the auction winner space is open at my son's school, I always park there, too.
No, wait, time out. Don't do that.
Don't do that, why?
Because they pay for that. And a lot of times, if you've auctioneered and been in these events, you know that those parking spots go for a lot of money. Ursula,
they really do go for a lot of money.
You know that. That's not cool.
Yeah, it is absolutely cool because my kids attend a public school. And so that public school property is the property of the public. And so if you're going to auction off the primo parking spot at the very front of the building for the one person with the biggest checkbook in the community, I'm sorry, that doesn't fly with me. That's like saying only Jim's family can use the ball fields.
You mean the money that checkbook goes to help out with other kids in the school?
Yeah.
I mean, Chef, we can do this all day long, but you're that parent.
Money that not only helps out the underprivileged kids
oh my
in
goodness.
The school,
there's no scholarships at a public school.
Wait. Are you trying to say that money that's raised sometimes with these PTS?
Yeah.
With these
I'm stealing from underprivileged children now. Is that your angle?
No. But are you trying to say that none of the money goes to help kids in school be able to go on field trips, be able to make sure?
I have no idea how it's allocated, to be honest. Yeah, but I'm definitely taking money out of their mouth. I'm sorry. Speaking of putting your money where your mouth is.
I'm just curious, though. Are there any other parking spots, or it's just because it just bugs you that someone paid for that?
No, I mean, to be honest, the only times I go to the school is when it's off school hours and I'm like using the plate, so they're all open. I just park there. But I had to outrage you guys because I know you think that auction winners deserve the space. Just had to tweak you there. All right, speaking of restaurant reservations, G, have become a hot new scalping market in places like New York. Apparently, there are some college kids who brag about making upwards of $70,000 a year by devoting hours of their week to snagging hot reservations at the hottest restaurants and then reselling them online. A, is this something you would pay for? And B, should this be legal?
Yes and yes. There sometimes are, when you go to, I'm at the age now, Ursula, when I go to certain cities, you hear about the restaurant, right? Like, hey, when you go, have you been to this city? Oh, when you go there, have you been to this restaurant? This is supposed to be the nice one. And then you try to go there and you can't get in because it's booked up. Because, it's really good. The same way if someone comes to visit Seattle, there are some restaurants here that they can't get into, right? But they want to be able to. They're only here for a short amount of time. Would they pay a little extra to someone else that's saying, hey, I got a reservation for 2 if you want it? You want to pay X amount? So, yes.
It just feels like a scalper. It feels like someone buying up the reservations, buying reservations and then selling them, essentially making this a place where only really people who have a lot of extra money can go. And I'm not okay with that. I think that's making it even harder. And I don't know how we can talk about helping people and people who we talk about the wage gap, we talk about things that are unaffordable, and yet we're going to support now something that makes going out to a nice place even harder.
Same way we support college, right? Like, it's unbelievable to be able to pay for these colleges or be able to do the things to get these scholarships to go to these colleges. The only reason why colleges continue to charge all this money is because there is a demand for it to get to these colleges. So I'm just saying
this is a great thing.
Someone buying out all the reservations so that they can make money selling reservations to people who are able to afford them.
Yeah, just to be clear, like, no one's going to buy out the entire reservation book for a restaurant, but maybe you'll get, 5 spots during the week. Apparently, people will fake accents on the phone with the hostesses. And in fact, I'm sure that there are a number of hostesses themselves who are doing this on the side. This completely makes sense to me, and I fully support it. Here's why. What you're doing is you're making a luxury good more expensive for people who can afford it. You have a poor person who's in college who says, hey, look, there's these people who will bang down the door of this place to pay $500 a pop for dinner. Is there a way where I could leverage that situation with a little bit of arbitrage and make some money off people who can afford it? Sure. Great. Go for it. This bothers me not in the least, because the type of restaurants that most of us want to go to either A, don't take reservations, or B, are not such hot and popping places like in one of the number 1 markets in the country. I just don't care. If you want to charge rich people more, great. Go for it.
Hey, Ursula, you want to know what's really cool that I've been learning in the social media influencer world? And I don't know, you've probably seen it on TikTok. You ever seen some of these restaurants, like, because some of these restaurants now are paying social media influencers to come in and do a video and kind of get the hype and, hey, go to this place and all that. I always like to see the places that get hyped up and like, oh, everybody's going there. That's the place to go. And then like after like a couple months, you're like, hey, how come everybody's not going there anymore? Because the one thing about the restaurant industry, I don't care what's going on. If your food ain't good,
it's true.
If you have to pay an influencer to promote your restaurant sucks.
No. I won't say that.
I will.
I don't really say
like,
that.
Honestly, I've gotten these pitches before when I worked at. No, not paying you. Oh, I guess this would fall into the category of gross or not gross. Apparently, 1 in 4 Americans do not wash their sports clothes after every use. So this is from a survey of about 8,000 Americans from Promo Guy. In Washington State is even worse. Only 46% of people in our state wash their clothes after going for a jog, or hitting the gym. And they might do it after the second or third time. Ursula, is that nasty?
I don't understand. I think it depends on how much you sweat and how much your clothing basically absorbs or doesn't. There's certain materials that just don't absorb well or don't do well, and you can smell it. And if you have a teenage boy in sports, you know that there's just this certain smell. After football practices, oh my goodness, I could not imagine wearing the same thing over and over again without washing. Right. So it is gross. I would wash every single time. Yeah. But some people just don't smell.
Hey, Ursula, this is a topic I did not want to disagree with you on, and I'm so glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to share something. Like my wife. You know how many times that she and I have worked out together? 0. And there's a reason. And I've never really shared the reason with her. Like when I'm in the gym,
you sweat.
I see couples that are working out, and I see it. I'm like, oh, check us out and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to work out next to, because when I start working out and I start sweating, I'm not saying I stink, but I don't smell like I like to smell. You know what I mean? I don't have that fresh soap, you know what I mean? So if I don't smell like that, I don't like the in-between. And I don't want anybody to do that. So anyway, back to the point. If you work out or jog in an outfit and then you are able to wear it the next day, I don't know who you are. You aren't human.
What are you talking about?
Can I also put another?
What are you talking about?
Can I also put another point in there, though?
What's that?
If you're sniffing your clothes and thinking, it's marginal, it's on the border between, I need to throw it in or I can wear it one more time, please throw it in.
Yeah. And
why are we so germ phobic in this?
It's not germ phobic. It's smell phobic.
No. Okay, so this is not going to 2-a-day football practice type work. Most people, they go for a jog, 20 minutes around the neighborhood, whatever. You throw the shorts, you throw the shirt on the chair, and then you put those clothes on the next day because you know why? Who are you trying to impress while you're running around the neighborhood? Who can smell you? And nobody's destroying a pair of clothes from running in 20 minutes.
Okay. First of all, yourself. That's that matters to me more than anybody. Myself. So 1, 2. Ursula, you ever had a T-shirt or that you've worn a lot and you've sweated in it before, and then sometimes
even if it's gone through the wash, you're it still stinks.
Lillian does that to me all the. By the way, this is something she does do. So sometimes I'll grab a T-shirt, right, and I'll go to put it on, and she'll say, "Oh, babe, that smells sour." I'm like, "Oh man," but because I don't smell it, right? I didn't think about it, but she was able to smell it. That fear, because sometimes you've worn that shirt, maybe it's time for that shirt to just go. Because as soon as you put it on, your pheromones hit it, and it's just like we go back to that funky smell.
How many times will you wear a pair of jeans, G, before you throw them in the wash?
I don't put my jeans in the wash.
Okay, how many times will you wear them?
They go to the dry clean.
Before you dry clean your jeans. How many times?
At tops, twice.
At tops, but most of the time, once.
Yeah, because most of the time I don't, if I wear them one time.
Okay, how many outfits would you say you go through an average day? I'm just trying to picture 2. Your laundry load.
I mean, on right now, 2. On the weekends, 3. That's normal. I mean, for me, I got this outfit right here, and then I'm gonna go do my errands. I'm gonna hit the gym, and I'm gonna come back.
3.
So 3 outfits.
Okay, I think a pair of jeans at minimum twice, easily, unless you got them all nasty. 3 times is usually fine. You give me the stink eye right now, Ursula?
Yeah. I think we're wrapping up.
You're wrapping up.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
KIRO News Radio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Throw down to second base, tagged by JP on the money, and he is out.
Home. Home is your domain, where you know every inch like the back of your hand.
Julio racing back out of the warning track, but he makes the catch, and he flashes to the no-fly zone.
A place that brings out your protective side, and a place you'll always stand up for.
Going, it will fly away.
Because what's inside is the most valuable thing in the world. Your family. Mariners baseball at T-Mobile Park. Welcome home.
4th of July weekend is here, and the Mariners are celebrating with a great slate of special events as they take on the Pirates. Don't miss J.P. Crawford basketball jersey night tomorrow at 7:10 and Kids Run the Bases Sunday at 1:10. Lock in your seats at mariners.com/tickets and enjoy your holiday weekend at T-Mobile Park.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Do you ever lose your balance or feel dizzy for no apparent reason? Do you hear ringing in your ears or have migraines? These are all signs you could have a problem with your inner ear or vestibular system. To learn more, call the Vestibular Disorders Helpline at 800-837-8428. That's 800-837-8428. Sponsored by the Vestibular Disorders Association.
Celebrate the red, white, and beautiful during the July 4th sale at Dania Furniture. Take up to 50% off an assortment of styles for your whole home. Be sure to shop early for the best deals. Stop by our 4 local showrooms today or shop online at DaniaFurniture.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning and happy Independence Day. I'm Tom Brock. A 30-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman are recovering at Harborview after police say she stabbed him in the leg and he shot her 6 times in front of her children. This happened Thursday morning in a parking lot near Rainier South in South Cloverdale. The woman was approached by a man wearing a bulletproof vest and holding a gun. Here's Seattle Police Department's Detective Eric Munoz.
I don't know the nature of their relationship, but it's not domestic violence related. It is not believed that they knew each other.
Both are expected to be okay. 5 people in Missouri were injured after a vehicle crashed into a parking lot fireworks stand 30 miles south of St. Louis. Here's Corporal Dallas Thompson with the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Backing out of the parking spot, for some reason, the driver lost control of the vehicle while in reverse. He sideswiped another vehicle that was parked unattended, and after striking that, he continued to drive backwards into the fireworks stand.
State troopers say a 6-year-old boy and his parents were among those that were hit. 500 people in Seattle will become brand new citizens of the United States today at the Seattle Center at the 40th annual naturalization ceremony. It starts at noon. The public is invited to witness as candidates from countries all over the world are sworn in by a United States district judge. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell will give opening remarks, and Washington U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell will give the keynote address. Your KIRO News Radio forecast, partly cloudy and 75 degrees on this 4th of July. During tonight's fireworks shows, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, overnight lows at 54 degrees, Saturday partly cloudy and 74. I'm Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the best of the Gee and Ursula Show. Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. I think we've hit a nerve on the parenting topics today.
Hey, we grooving. But I will say, Ursula, you got to admit, there's a lot of people that's with us with the whole, you can close the door, but locking it, that's a different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Although Kevin in Seattle said, or a few people said, in hindsight, maybe they shouldn't have allowed me to lock the door. Okay, but hey, we want to continue with this theme because we got a bunch of great messages, and one of them came from 253 in Boston. When you had the conversation about coaching, and that was an important conversation. If you missed any of that, listen to our podcast. It was in the 10 o'clock segment, and Sully joined us, and you, Sully, and Chef shared some coaching tips because all of you are coaches or have been coaches. So kids will remember not the wins or losses, but what you say as a parent about the win or loss. This is from 253. I was competing in several music competitions, which I won at the junior level. So my teacher thought it was time to go to the senior level. And out of 50 students, I came in 7th. And since I'd only been playing a year on drums, I was happy. Well, my dad was embarrassed, making it clear to me that if you don't win, you quit. I'm no longer going to be paying for your drum lessons, he said. So there are no losers in this family. Thankfully, my drum teacher offered me a job at his music store, so I paid for my lessons, and I never invited my dad to any competition. He was no longer welcomed. 2 years later, I won the state solo and ensemble contest, and now, many decades later, at 68, I still play music. And because of music, I've seen and played for many people all over the world. I was there for the Tear Down the Wall speech, playing for President Reagan. But I still remember those hurtful words that my dad said that day. On full disclosure, before my dad died, I had to take care of him, and he apologized for that day 30 years later, but it was 30 years lost.
Wow.
That is a powerful story to share. And it got us thinking, like, what parenting mistakes do you remember that your parents made with you? And that you vowed, I am going to do differently as a parent myself? Or maybe even something that you've done yourself as a parent that you say to your kids, don't do this. I was wrong.
Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, I carried on the torch, I think. And I think that my kids will do things different. And what I mean by that is that growing up for us Gen X and baby boomers, you all know that discipline came by, right? Whether it was the switch or the belt and the disciplinarian things. Or the hand, right? And that was, do as I say, not as I do mentality, right? And so because you grow up with that, and it's not like there's all types of books on parenting and you don't know what the perfect book is I took some of that parenting going forward. Now, my son and I have had this conversation, Ursula, and we talked about it. And if I were to do it again, and he and I have asked this conversation, because look, I've made tons of mistakes as a parent, tons. Matter of fact, a whole lot. But if I had to do it again, I'd probably do the same thing. And the reason why is because young black men, I can only specifically talk about this, young black men, it's almost like this, you can't mess up out here in the real world because you won't get that second chance. You probably can't afford the lawyers sometimes, right? And so there's a lot of fear that sometimes we parent as because we're so afraid for our children. And so, again, I don't think I did a good job.
So
I should have stopped.
You think you actually took a lot of what your parents taught you and you had that mentality with your own children.
Right.
Like spanking and discipline.
And even though it worked, I don't think it's a good idea. I disagree with it in totality today.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the perfect way? I don't know.
Well, I was also spanked. I had a very strict, especially German father, but Filipino mom, and she also grew up spanking. And so she spanked not just to the level that my dad did. He was also, and I want to preface all this by saying, first of all, I thought they were flawed, but they were very great parents, very loving, and we never, ever doubted that we were loved. So, may they rest in peace. The thing that I did not want to take into my own raising of our children was this idea of that my kids should be fearful of me. Because we used to run around like, oh my gosh, Pa's coming home, and we'd be running around trying to fix everything and make everything look good and in the house, and there was kind of a fear of him returning home, and I didn't want my kids to have that. I wanted them to look forward to me coming home, for one thing.
Yeah.
And also the fear of being physically hit as a way of punishment. So we didn't do that with our kids.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, well, there were a few times, like swat on the bottom to make a point when they did something that was more dangerous. Yeah. But the other thing was I just didn't want to be that parent that was always yelling. Did I ever yell? Yeah, but it wasn't that I wanted him to have that fear. And we were just really open. One thing I did learn from my parents is, my mom was as open as can be about topics that a lot of parents don't want to touch. And so we did the same with our kids. But I want to just share some of the things that some of our listeners said. 360 said, what did my parents do that I won't do? Let's start with the raging alcoholism and wanting to put belt to rear while drunk. My kids will never know what that is like. Susan in Briar, I think this is important. Parents in the 50s and 60s often didn't show affection or say, I love you, mine included. My husband and I changed that up, and our sons heard and knew our love as they grew up, still do as men in their 40s, and they've passed that on to their children. You raised your hand.
Yeah.
It's almost like a therapy session right now, I realize, and I could see that you're like really going deep into your heart right now and your mind.
Because, and the reason why is because I realized, and I've brought this up in therapy, like a lot of the things that I grew up with, I passed that. I did that. I channeled that. And again, while I don't think it was a good idea, I also don't regret it. So I'm just torn on this because I believe that sometimes some kids, now discipline comes in different ways, but some kids, when they don't get the discipline, my father used to say, you either get discipline in the playpen or the real pen.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids.
Scary message.
There's a lot of kids today that are getting and answering consequences that they wish they would have had with their parents, but they were so laxed that they got to do whatever they wanted, and then now they got to learn the hard way.
I am guessing that you're hard on yourself in your criticism of your own parenting skills, because you had a lot of things going on too during those years, those formative years for your kids. And if you look at how they turned out well.
Yeah. And by the way, I wish I was doing okay financially when they were younger.
That's a big thing too.
This sucks.
It is so hard to be a good parent and partner when you're struggling to keep your head above water.
What?
You don't have time, no money.
Yeah.
Keep your text messages coming in because we're reading them, even though maybe we didn't get to share. Rick in Olympia, I see you. His dad said he was too stupid to take algebra, and fortunately he had a teacher who spent extra time with him, convincing him that he was a capable student, and he ended up graduating from a private university with honors.
Good stuff. By the way, please keep these stories coming because a lot of you all are sharing awesome stories, very educational stories about your childhood, and it matters. It helps us all. All right, text message, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's Words to Live By.
This is the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
You
listen to The John Curley Show every afternoon? What does John listen to every morning?
I listen to Charlie and Manda, get my pot of coffee going, then turn on Seattle's Morning News, and I begin to build my show that way. And you want straight news without opinion, just giving it to you with the facts. There's only one place to go, Seattle's Morning News.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute. Seattle's Morning News and The John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio. Download the KIRO Newsradio app to listen anytime.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA Home Loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic is your best plan for long-term well-being and personalized health care. Dr. Mixon, let me ask you a question. How long have some of your patients been working with you?
And we've got patients now that have been with us for over 20 years that are in their 90s who came to us in their 60s. The grandparents now in their 90s are living independently. They're not on walkers. They're not on canes. They're not headed for nursing homes.
I meet people and they ask about, wow, you're in great shape. You have 12% body fat and stuff. What's the secret? I said, it's not a secret. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. There is no secret to the fact that if you make those small changes, you avoid the big, bad, horrible stuff that most of us just think, well, this is what's supposed to happen to me.
And if you're heading downhill and you don't change your direction, you're going to continue going downhill. And what we do at Longevity is we redirect you and we take you back up the hill.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker. Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
You just invested in new gutter guards to keep the junk out.
So why are they clogged with moss and gunk? Well, here's the missing link between just any gutter guards and ones that actually work. You see, most gutter guards, sure, they stop leaves, but they don't stop what grows on them. Moss, algae, grime, they take over, turning your new gutter guards into a plugged, soggy mess. And that's where Moss Eater's gutter guards come in. They're changing the game. It's the only gutter guard with copper-infused tech. That means moss, algae, and gunk won't grow on it. It's like having a built-in Moss Eater on your home. And look, at Moss Eaters, we're not just going to install your guards and then let you fend for yourself. No, we're going to maintain your roof too. Because a clean roof and clog-free gutters means no water, no leaks, and no stress. Get the only gutter guard that truly fights back. Call Moss Eaters at 206-531-7800 or visit mosseaters.com today. That's 206-531-7800 or online at mosseaters.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yeah, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. The nicotine in e-cigarettes is addictive and can harm brain development. That's why I worry about teens who try e-cigarettes. Many young people use pod-based e-cigarettes like Juul, which have high levels of nicotine. And because teens' brains are still developing, they can quickly become addicted. The tobacco industry uses fruit and candy flavors to attract young people, often turning them into lifelong users. For more, visit healthychildren.org.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. All right, this scenario is good. Let me go. Here we go. What's the scenario? My wife and I have been married for 3 years, and it's fantastic. Last weekend, out of the blue, she said she had a surprise for me. She made it a big production and surprised me with a bunch of professional nude photos. She told me she did a private photo shoot to give me a sexy surprise. She's usually shy, so this was a big thing. It was sexy. Very steamy pictures where she was showing everything. Sure. Was I excited? Yep. But then I started to think about it. Hey, wait a minute. Who took these photos? So I asked. And it was a friend of ours who took the pictures. He has been trying to get into professional photography for some time now, and he heard that there was good money in sexy bedroom photos. But he didn't have anything for his portfolio, so then I found out he did it for free in exchange for allowing him to use the pictures for marketing. This friend is a dude I've known since college. I'm uncomfortable that my friend has seen my wife naked and has photos of her, and now he's going to be using them for his advertising. It feels like cheating, but I'm not sure. And why would my friend agree to do this without even asking me? My wife is now upset with me for making her feel bad about it. I think the whole thing is weird. Am I wrong to have said something to her? What do you guys think? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, do you have experience with this?
No. I have not had any sexy pictures taken by a friend, a male friend, who did not tell my husband. No, I've not had that experience. However, I know women who do those types of pictures, and they can turn out beautifully. And the one thing that I would have done, the one thing that stands out in this scenario is that if I were the wife, I would have told my husband about it in the first place. Now, if it was supposed to be a surprise
yes, it
gift,
was surprise.
I would have thought that maybe a friend, a male friend doing these pictures, a male friend who would then have control over these pictures could be an issue too. So I probably would have either gone with a different photographer or asked my husband about it first.
You know you like free. And this situation is free.
Wait, hold on.
With strings attached.
When you said that you like free, you don't?
I do.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I established that one.
I do.
So, yeah, I think that I would have probably figured, knowing my husband, and I would imagine that maybe she would know that her husband wouldn't feel comfortable with it. I mean, it's a great idea, but to bring someone like that into the bedroom, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. He's not wrong to feel that way.
You got 1 minute, Chef. What do you got?
Hey, happy birthday, husband. I got totally naked in front of one of your longtime friends. I hope you love it. Isn't this great? What a terrible idea. I try to be sex positive, but then I hear a situation like this. I'm just like, hell no. By the way, if you are ever considering having these pictures taken, just keep in mind, they are not only for you and your significant other, they are also for your kids and grandkids someday.
Ursula, I got 10 seconds to explain this. I'm going to be crystal clear on this. I would be so mad.
You would be. I don't even need to ask you.
I would be heated if you thought that it was even a good idea to get these pictures taken by one of my partners. And now, not only does he have the photo, he has these forever. Forever. And so whenever he's like, yeah, gee, he cool. But you seen this lady? Hey, I seen her. No, absolutely not. Nick?
Well, no problem doing modeling shoots with someone for spicy and steamy photos for whoever they're for. But if you're with them romantically and have a funny feeling about it, maybe get the word out on your vibe before you're letting her go full spread on a guy she met on social media, a photographer named Ted. And I would just say, put the leash on it. And Chef's right. The receipts don't expire or lie on these bad boys.
Nick wins. Before you decide to go, we'll spread. Okay, if my I don't know if my wife's working, but don't do it. Just don't do it. Period. Stranger, free, paid for. Don't do it. What are gonna do? Keep those? And only thing that's gonna happen is the grandkids and it's gonna go through storage, and then they're gonna see these racy pictures of grandma from, you know what I'm saying, during this time. Imagine this. Imagine if you went through your parents' or your grandparents' things and you saw them naked. Would you be traumatized? It's not a good idea. I just don't think the picture's a good idea, period.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
Only in that. A lot of times it's also for the women.
Yeah.
For themselves. Hey. Celebrate your body.
I mean, that's cool. But can I ask you again? Could you imagine running across some pictures of your mom?
I have. Catherine in the 360 says, stick to Polaroids.
It is. Oh, my goodness. Gee and Ursula.
You're listening to the best of the Gee and Ursula Show.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I've got to get a new car, and things are crazy right now. 1 minute costs are up, the next minute it's something new.
Go to Subaru Puyallup. Their stress-free promises never changed. Through natural disasters, supply hiccups, you name it.
So they're still holding today's prices?
Yeah, they have over 300 Subarus still at current rates and guaranteed stress-free pricing and trade-ins. You should get it now.
I really need to swing by there. Want to go with?
Let's go.
Secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. While the treatment really attacked the cancer, unfortunately, it also attacked his body. Uncontrollable fevers, terrible nosebleeds, and his skin was burned from the inside out. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was founded 70 years ago by parents who also lost their child to cancer. Today, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer.
We are so close to finding better treatments for kids with cancer. So it's too late to save Zach, but working together, we can save thousands of kids just like him.
Visit LLS.org and save a child's life.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday.